guys, it's Courtney, and this is part 3 of my spring book haul. This will be the last part. However, it will not be the last haul I do this month because I just ordered more books. I know I should probably slow down a little bit, but every time I say that I'm going to take a break from buying books, I end up buying a lot. I don't know, I just cannot stop buying books. I should seriously slow down, though. Anyways, let's just hurry up and get through these books. So the first books that I have are actually manga, and they are volumes 1 and 14 in Karenina, His and Her Circumstances. And this is a romantic comedy about a teenage girl who basically has the perfect life. She has awesome grades, she's #1 in her class, she's popular, until a new guy shows up at school and proves that he is better than her. She's doing what she can to take the spotlight back, but she ends up falling in love with him, and this just sounds like it's going to be a really funny and cute story. Next I have Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, which was actually recommended to me because I like The Night Circus so much. And like The Night Circus, this story does center around a circus. It is a historical romance about a man named Jacob Jankowski who comes to work for the circus, and he ends up falling in love with the circus boss's wife. I actually saw the movie and I loved it, so I know I'm going to love the book even more. Then I have Angel Fall by Susan E. So after angels have descended upon the earth to destroy the world, 17-year-old Penryn's sister is kidnapped by one of them. And so she's fighting to get her sister back, but she ends up meeting an angel along the way who helps her, and they basically end up relying on each other for survival. I like the idea of an angel apocalypse. That's really interesting. Next I have These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly, and you can see it still has the nasty sticker stuck on it. I gotta try to get that off. But this story follows a character named Joe whose father accidentally shot himself, but Joe doesn't think it was an accident. She thinks that there's more to her father's death than what everyone else believes, and so she's basically trying to uncover the mysteries about her father's death. Olivia over at Insert Bookish Title recently read this, and that kind of made me want to pick it up because she left a really good review for it. I'll be leaving a link to her channel down below, by the way. But yeah, I am excited to read this one. Next I have a book bind-up of The Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London. I don't know why I did not know that these were animal stories. I mean, I assume they had something to do with animals, but I never knew that they were actually told from the point of view of dogs. It's really interesting. The first one, The Call of the Wild, is basically about a dog named Buck who is kidnapped. And the second one is the story of a dog who's basically been mistreated by humans, and so he's searching for love, or human love, something like that. Next, I have books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17 in the Geogreymon series. And it's funny because I actually watched some of the show, and I didn't really like it. But it was probably because I just finished watching Full Metal Alchemist, and they're kind of similar, so I might go back to it because it's been a while since I've seen Full Metal Alchemist. I did love that show. Set in a fictional 19th century England, Geogreymon is the story of Alan Walker, a 15-year-old boy who roams the earth in search of innocence. Washed away to unknown parts of the world after the Great Flood, innocence is the mysterious substance used to create weapons that obliterate demons known as Akuma. A born exorcist, Walker's primary anti-Akuma weapon is the cross that's embossed on his red and disfigured left hand, which contains innocence. But not only does Walker destroy Akuma, he sees the Akuma hiding inside a person's soul. Together with his fellow exorcists fighting under the command of the Black Order, Walker leads the battle against the Millennium Earl, the evil being out to destroy mankind. So it sounds like an interesting story. I'm gonna give these a try and see how I feel about them, and maybe I'll watch the anime afterwards. I know this is not all of them, I know there are more, but I am not sure how many more there are. Next I have The Other Queen by Philippa Gregory, which is a historical fiction novel about Mary, Queen of Scots. Next I have The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, and as you can see, I have yet to remove the library binding. Junior is a budding cartoonist growing up on the Spokane Indian Reservation. I hope I pronounced that right. Spokane, I don't know. Born with a variety of medical problems, he is picked on by everyone but his best friend. Determined to receive a good education, Junior leaves the res to attend an all-white school in the neighboring farm town, where the only other Indian is the school mascot. Despite being condemned as a traitor to his people and enduring great tragedies, Junior attacks life with wit and humor and discovers a strength inside of himself that he never knew existed. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. I've heard it was funny, and I like funny stories. It's got like 230 pages, so this is going to be a really quick one, which is a good thing because I like quick reads. So next I have Under the Tuscan Sun by Frances Mays, and this is about life in the Tuscan countryside. So in this book, the author discusses the taste and pleasures of Tuscany, and I would really like to go to Tuscany, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this. Plus, I love books that talk about food. Books that can actually make you hungry from food descriptions are the best. And I had to pull this out because The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh by far has the best descriptions of food I've ever read in a fantasy novel or any novel. So just thought I'd point that out. It was really good, by the way. Next I have If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. If he had been with me, everything would have been different. I wasn't with Finn on that August night, but I should have been. It was raining, of course, and he and Sylvie were arguing as he drove down the slick road. No one ever says what they were arguing about. Other people think it's not important. They do not know there is another story, the story that lurks between the facts. What they do not know, the cause of the argument, is crucial. So let me tell you, some things you can't undo. Wow, I like that. Next I have The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd, and I do already have a copy of this, but it's not in the best condition, so I saw this at a library book sale and I had to pick it up. I haven't read this yet, but I did enjoy the movie, so I know the book is probably going to be better. Living on a peach farm in South Carolina with her harsh, unyielding father, Lily Owens has shaped her entire life around one devastating, blurred memory: the afternoon her mother was killed, when Lily was 4. Since then, her only real companion has been the fierce-hearted, and sometimes just fierce, black woman Rosaline, who acts as her stand-in mother. When Rosaline insults 3 of the deepest racists in town, Lily knows it's time to spring them both free. They take off in the only direction Lily can think of, toward a town called Tiburon, South Carolina, a name she found on the back of a picture amid the few possessions left by her mother. There they are taken in by an eccentric trio of black beekeeping sisters named May, June, and August. Lily thinks of them as the Calendar Sisters and enters their mesmerizing secret world of bees and honey, and of the Black Madonna who presides over this household of strong, wise women. Maternal loss and betrayal, guilt and forgiveness entwine in a story that leads Lily to the single thing her heart longs for most. This really is a beautiful story, so I am excited to read this book. Then I have The Red Tent by Anita Diamant, which is the story of Dinah from the Bible. I also have The Scarlet Cord by Joan Wolfe, which is the story of Rahab, who is also a Bible character. Next I have Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This is about a woman who leaves her husband for another man, but apparently there's some psychological stuff going on here, and I do like psychological stuff. I do not like the fact that the character leaves her husband for someone else. That's not right, but you know, a lot of people said this was a really good one, so I'm gonna give it a try. This is a pretty thick one. Next I have Side by Side in Silence by Patricia Bell Ellis, which I honestly don't know much about. My dad got this one for me, but it has to do with ghosts. Side by Side in Silence is a story about the greed of one man who is living, the deception of another who died many years ago, and the effect it all has on the town of Ferndale, where the story takes place. One young widow, Sarah Falworth, stands alone as the inheritor of Aldergrove, a place the people of Ferndale have cherished for years. Sarah finds herself having to untangle a terrible family secret that has bedeviled one generation after another in the Falworth family. The wife of Aldergrove's first owner, deceased for many years, returns to the land of the living when she feels her former home is threatened, and her ghost makes unannounced appearances in the attic of the place she loves. One man wants the Aldergrove property so badly he resorts to murder to get it. He has always viewed Ferndale as a one-horse town, but as time goes by, he sees it through the mists of his drunken binges and worsening psychosis. Fear takes hold of Ferndale as the bodies pile up and children disappear. There are phantoms in the story, and perhaps a few of them are figments of a man's sick mind. On the other hand, perhaps they are not. Nevertheless, the ghost of Patience Falworth makes her wishes known. Ghost stories are always fun to read. And lastly, I have Daughter of Fortune by Isabel Allende. This story is about a young girl from Chile who was orphaned at birth but comes to live in a British colony. She ends up falling in love with this man and becomes pregnant with his baby. But the man that she fell in love with goes off to seek fortune without her, and so she follows him. She ends up in California, where she's basically just searching for freedom and independence. And she ends up having to decide whether she really loves this man or not. I am so glad to finally be able to put these on my shelf, because I had them all sitting in a pile beside my bookshelves, I didn't want to put them on my shelves and forget which ones I actually bought. I'm glad I can finally just put them where they belong. My shelves are seriously such a mess right now. It's ridiculous. I gotta fix that, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you guys next time.